Senator Ted Cruz joins us now. Sir, federal government, what's it bringing to the table?
Well, in the past few days, the city of Houston, the entire Texas Gulf Coast, has just been reeling with the impact of this storm. And the storm is continuing. We're still having rainfall. We're still having flooding. And I will say it has been very impressive seeing the different levels of government working together, seeing local and state and federal government officials all coordinating. You know, the number one priority is the preservation of life. It's search and rescue. 2 days ago, there was a real shortage of equipment for high water rescue, whether boats or helicopters or high water trucks. I spent much of the day yesterday talking with various federal officials, state officials, talking with the governor, and we've seen substantially more assets deployed on the ground to engage in that high water rescue.
Is it enough? Is it enough? And is the federal government getting in there? Will more be coming?
Well, yes, more will be coming. So in the past several days, I've spoken with President Trump. I've spoken with the Vice President. I've spoken with the Secretary of Homeland Security. I've spoken with FEMA. I've spoken with Secretary of HHS and the governor multiple times. And what we're hearing consistently is a commitment to provide every resource needed. When I spoke with the President, he just said, Ted, what do you need? What does the state need? The answer is yes. Just a couple of days ago, the president had a cabinet meeting in which he instructed every cabinet agency, lean in, provide every resource needed. That's very much appreciated. The governor's doing a tremendous job leading the state assets, and we're seeing real cooperation across the state dealing with this crisis.
I believe Harris Faulkner may have a question for you, Senator Harris.
Senator Cruz, thank you so much for giving us the forensics and all the details of what you're doing there on the ground. I know you to be a person of faith, and this is your home, sir. What do you say to your people of Texas and to the rest of the nation right now?
Well, this is an incredibly challenging time for my hometown of Houston, for the entire state. A lot of people are hurting. Let me say, first of all, to those of you who are still in harm's way, if water is rising, I would advise you stay safe. Get to safe ground, get to high ground. If water is rising, do not go up in your attic unless you have an axe or other equipment to get through the roof. One of the most dangerous things you can do is be trapped in your attic with no way to get out. And let me say also, don't drive unless absolutely necessary. The most frequent cause of loss of life is people in cars thinking they can make it through water and getting carried away by swift water. Don't jeopardize your life and your family. You know, right now I'm at the George R. Brown Convention Center, where we've got about 3,000 people providing shelter, people who've lost their homes, lost in many cases everything. And people are hurting. But at the same time, I got to tell you, it is inspirational to see Texans just coming together, giving sacrificially. We've got hundreds of Texans just getting on boats and rescuing people, rescuing their neighbors from high water. We've got people driving up to the convention center here with bags of diapers and food and clothes. And this is a time of crisis. We need prayers. We need support. But we're also coming together, and we're immensely grateful for that.
Real quickly, before I let you go back to what you're doing there, the important work that you're doing, obviously, are other senators, members of Congress reaching out? I'm seeing on Twitter Philadelphia and other places bringing things to you there at the convention center. You guys kind of go through it, and then from there you figure out what can we put out to the people who need it.
Right. No, I've heard from a number of my colleagues in the Senate who've reached out, who've expressed their thoughts and prayers for the state. I've heard from, you know, we've had, as of yesterday, 10 states had sent supplies. And I have to say, groups like the Red Cross or the Salvation Army do amazing jobs. And you know, if you're not in Texas and you're looking for how can you help, how can you make a difference, you know, one of the best ways to do it is go to the Red Cross or Salvation Army's website and volunteer, help out what they're doing, because it's a national community coming together in a time of great crisis.
And I know on your Twitter pages, you've got 2 of them, you've put out that information, so we'll share that Red Cross information too. Senator Cruz and Caroline Shively, to both of you, thank you very much.